So I'm Richard Marston. I'm a professor of finance at the Wharton School, and I've been the faculty director of the Private Wealth Management program since the very beginning in 1999. Since the program began, of course, there's been many changes in the market. There have been changes in attitude towards different investments. In the late 1990s, everyone was enamored of stocks. Today, people are a little more skeptical about them, and they're interested in a lot of alternative investments that were not as popular back then. The program has always been focused on the investment process itself. Obviously, it's important for families to be able to pass wealth from one generation to another, but that's not the primary focus of the program. It's more on investing wisely. We do talk extensively, both formally and informally, about how you transfer control from one generation to another. In fact, our case study about a hypothetical family is all about that. That's an enriching experience for the end of the program. But throughout the program, we're focused on what makes sense for a family to be investing in. How would they view their portfolio? Is there any process for investing? How do they monitor their portfolio? So I would say a single billionaire investing alone with no family members, planning to give it to charity later on, would do as well with the program as somebody with a 5-generation family to worry about. Well, there have been so many interesting family members within the program that I could name a number of them and talk about their experiences. But one in particular that comes to mind is a fellow who brought his young daughter to the one of our first programs, and he was very active in the program, and his daughter was so interesting. And then the next program, he brought his second daughter, followed by a third daughter for a third program. And I think that gives an idea of what the families are trying to do with a program like this. He was a pretty astute investor, but he wanted to pass on the knowledge to his daughters. He knew that his daughters would be taking over responsibility for the portfolio, and he thought that this should be a joint experience where he and they experience the program together. And I think that's typical of many of the investors in the program. There are a lot of family members who come together. You will see husbands and wives, brothers and sisters. You will see aunts and uncles, extended families coming to the program. And I think it makes a difference because they oftentimes make decisions jointly. And if they have similar experiences, it's so important in terms of their decision making. You know, there's been an interesting change in the program in the last few years, and increasingly it's global in scope. We always had wonderful families from various countries outside the United States, but the number of families has increased substantially. Roughly a third of the families attending the program are from outside the United States, and that ends up providing us with a wonderful dimension in terms of understanding how families deal with their wealth differently in Europe or in Asia and in Latin America than they do in the United States. This is a wonderful thing for the American families attending the program and a wonderful thing for the various non-American families. The global perspective is important. We have so many programs, so varied programs at Wharton, that all of the faculty in the program are very used to speaking with financial advisors. I personally have also given many investment seminars to clients of brokerage firms, but this is different. This is interacting with serious investors over a week-long period, guiding the curriculum. I think I can speak for my colleagues in saying, in many respects, this is our most interesting investment program at the Wharton School.